So first I started off by drawing a rectangle shape onto a piece of sponge using a ruler and a pen. And you can make yours as big or as small as you want. And then what you want to do is you want to cut out the shape using a craft knife or your scissors. And you also want to make sure that your foam is pretty thick. And then you just want to smooth off all the edges using your scissors and just make them as smooth as possible. So that way it looks more of a cuboid shape. And I ended up having to cut off some of the foam because it was a little bit too thick. So hopefully that makes sense. And then once you've done that, we can move on to the next step. So next what I did was I drew 3 lines going all the way around the squishy. So you just want to draw them basically the exact same way that I did. And I just used an image of the squishy as reference. So now on to the next step. So next what you want to do is you want to start cutting off the pen lines. And as you can see, I've already started doing that. So you just want to do that for all 3 lines, like so. And then you just want to round off the middle part. And again, you can just use an image of the squishy as reference. So I'm just going to finish this. So here's what it looks like once I've finished rounding off the middle part of the s'more. So you just want to make curved cuts all the way around it using your scissors. And just make it as smooth as possible. And then once you've done that, next what you want to do is you just want to continue to cut off the pen lines below the chocolate part, like so. And then you just want to neaten that up with your scissors by just making straight cuts all the way around it. So just make really small cuts, so that way it doesn't look too rough. So I'm going to finish this. So once you've done that, next what you want to do is you want to make small indents all the way around the crackers or the biscuits. So you just want to take your scissors and just make small snips all the way around the crackers, like so. And it should look something like this. And then you just want to neaten that off with your scissors. So I'm just going to do that. So once you've done that, here is what the final shape should look like. And by the way, if you do decide to make this, then maybe try making the crackers a little bit bigger than mine, because mine ended up turning out a little bit too small. But that's okay. I still think the shape turned out pretty good. So once you've done that, we can finally start painting it. So next what I did was I mixed yellow, white and a tiny bit of burnt sienna paint together, and I painted both of the crackers. And then what I did was I mixed some of this pastel pink paint with some of this white paint, since it was still a little bit too dark, and then I painted the marshmallow part. And then I just used my brown puffy paint for the chocolate. So now on to the next step. So next what I did was I painted on the face and the ears using my dark pink puffy paint and my brown puffy paint. And I just used a really thin paintbrush and also a dotting tool to paint on the face. And then what I did was I painted on 2 dots on both sides of the s'more to make the legs, and I just used my light pink puffy paint to do this. And then for the back of the squishy, I painted on the tail using my brown puffy paint and also used a thin paintbrush. And by the way, it's up to you what design you want to make for yours. I decided to make the girl design, but if you want to make the boy design, you don't want to paint on the eyelashes, and also you just want to paint on one swirl for the tail. So now on to the final step. So lastly what I did was I mixed yellow and some burnt sienna paint together, and I painted 5 dots on the top of the squishy. And again, I just used a dotting tool to do this. And also use these images as reference. And then you just want to do the same thing for the other side as well. And Then once you've done that, you want to let this dry and then your squishy will be done. So here it is once it is all dry. And I think this turned out really adorable. I'm really happy with it. And it is also quite squishy. And also a little bit sticky as well. And I know it didn't turn out exactly like the real squishy, but I'm still really happy with it. And like I said before, the crackers did come out a little bit too small, but that's fine. And I think the little tail is really cute. And again, it's up to you what design you want to make for yours. So I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and as always, please feel free to request any more squishy tutorials you would like me to do in the comments below. And again, please don't forget to go and watch Phoebe's video. I'll have it linked in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye!